Thank you for joining us on the long-form story tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Niranjan. Thank you for joining us once again this Saturday evening. On the show tonight, 5 investigations that are dominating headlines, that have dominated, will continue to dominate headlines as we demand answers. First up, Pakistan is and has been facing a severe crisis, but it's just gotten worse with former Prime Minister Imran Khan disappearing behind prison walls, protests raging, rumors are mounting, and the question looms larger than ever. Where is Imran Khan? Back home in Haryana, tragedy striking sporting world. Teenage basketball players Aman and Hardik killed when hoop poles collapsed during practice. Government-sponsored murder, negligence, CCTV footage also exposing what went wrong and how the government let it happen. And in the same state of Haryana, another story that went unnoticed this week. A 23-year-old woman, Sapna, shot dead by her own family for choosing her life partner. It's what they used to call honor killings, nothing honorable about it. Brother accomplices arrested. More about that shocking case from Haryana, with an ongoing battle over women's autonomy and the deadly consequences of so-called honor. Next up, West Bengal erupting again this week as a deceased man, Pritam Ghosh's family claimed that one of his eyes went missing from a morgue. Public protests, government silence, unanswered questions have sparked a crisis of trust, leaving citizens demanding answers and accountability. And finally, on the global stage of the Dubai Air Show, India's pride, LCA Tejas, suffering a catastrophic accident. We'll tell you about all that and more on the long-form story. Tonight, we bring you an investigation from a country where a former prime minister can also disappear behind prison walls without a single official explanation. A nation where the army chief has rewritten the constitution to carve out a kingship for himself, and where even elected chief ministers are denied access to their own leader. For almost 2 weeks, Imran Khan's family has been blocked from meeting him. Some say 3 weeks, some say 4 weeks. His family says it's been 6 weeks, 6 months since lawyers got access to him. But nobody's seen him for 3 weeks. His sisters were dragged, beaten, pushed away from the gates of the Adiala Jail in Rawalpindi, Pakistan. Social media has been abuzz all of this week with claims of custodial killing, custodial possible death. The government in Pakistan is silent. The army in Pakistan is silent. And the courts also in Pakistan silent because they're controlled by the army. So where is Imran Khan? And why is failed Marshal Asim Munir so scared of the man he has locked away? Watch closely on the long-form story, a special report on Pakistan's missing former Prime Minister.
This is a country where rumors sound more believable than the government, where a former prime minister can vanish behind prison walls, and where the army chief writes himself into the constitution as a field marshal for life. Today, Pakistan faces its biggest question ever. Where is Imran Khan? And why is Asim Munir petrified of the man he has chained?
बचाएगा पाकिस्तान मेरा यार मेरा
In any democracy, rumors of a former prime minister's custodial death would spark a constitutional crisis. However, in Pakistan, Imran Khan's sisters Alima, Uzma and Noreen have been beaten up for simply asking one question: is Imran Khan alive?
इनके पैरों को सीधी कोई रोएगा नहीं यहाँ पर मैं पैरों से पकड़ा है.
Yes, we don't know the latest status of him because we have been disconnected with him from last 3 to 4 weeks, and now these rumors are being taken out to make people more anxious about it. I think he is, I believe he's all right because the jail authorities claim that they have told the people outside that he's all right.
आप सबको इस चीज़ पे बताना चाहिए कि इमरान खान को कितनी इन्होंने कैद तन्हाई में करके अब हमें किसी को हमें ये भी नहीं पता कि उनको किस हालत में रखा हुआ है, कैसी उनकी सेहत है. अगर हमें ये 5 मिनट की मुलाकात करा दो तो हम आराम से चले जाते. तो अभी तक हम इसी इंतजार में थे और इन लोगों को पता है कि हम बाहर खड़े हैं और इनको करवानी चाहिए थी. तो आप बताओ कि अब देखिए अब वो फैसला करेंगे हम बैठने के क्या करते हैं.
And it's not just the family. Even PTI's top leadership is being denied access.
8 दफा मैं गया हूं और मेरी मुलाकात जो है मेरे लीडर से नहीं करवाई गई, हत्ता कि मेरा पासपोर्ट ब्लॉक कर दिया. और वहां पर जो है पाकिस्तानी एयरफोर्स के जहाज जो है एक वज़ीर आला को यहां से उधर लेकर जा रहे हैं. तो ये इम्तियाजी सलूक नहीं होना चाहिए और इसमें जो है आप दूरियां पैदा कर रहे हैं. आप जो है ऐसे कारनामे कर रहे हैं जिससे जो है नफरतें बढ़ रही है.
In Pakistan, even a chief minister must beg for justice because the executive, the bureaucracy, and now even the courts answer to Asim Munir. Asim Munir's power grab in Pakistan is so concerning that the UN had to step in.
Pakistan's hastily adopted constitutional amendments seriously undermine judicial independence and raise grave concerns about military accountability and respect for the rule of law. These changes, taken together, risk subjugating the judiciary to political interference and executive control.
This is Pakistan's Field Marshal, Chief of Defence Staff and de facto dictator Asim Munir, a man who rewrote the constitution and legally crowned himself the king. However, this dictator of Pakistan fears Imran Khan. But Asim Munir's fear of Imran Khan is not political. It is personal. It is a wound that has never healed. Because Imran Khan is the only civilian in Pakistan's history who dared to humiliate the military from inside the GHQ. In 2019, Imran sacked Asim Munir after just 8 months as ISI chief. This was the shortest tenure in the agency's history. Munir never forgave that. He never forgot. And Munir never moved past it. The turning point came when Imran Khan dared to run an independent foreign policy. He visited Moscow on the day Russia invaded Ukraine. The army hated it because Pakistan's generals need Western dollars to survive. And that's the moment when the mega plan to overthrow Imran Khan began. The no-confidence hammer followed. For the first time in Pakistan's history, a sitting Prime Minister was toppled on the floor of the House. The opposition secured 174 votes and Rawalpindi's new favourite, Shehbaz Sharif, took over.
मैं मोहम्मद शहबाज शरीफ सिर्फ के दिल से अल्फ उठाता हूँ, सिर्फ के दिल से अल्फ उठाता हूँ.
And then, in 2022, Asim Munir became the army chief. PTI publicly warned the military to stay out of politics, and Rawalpindi drew its knives. Then came the moment that sealed Pakistan's fate, the moment that told the world who really runs Islamabad. On 9th of May 2023, Imran Khan walked into the Islamabad High Court and within minutes he was dragged out by paramilitary rangers, forces that answered directly to Rawalpindi. The Supreme Court briefly ordered Khan's release, but it did not matter. Within weeks, 5th of August 2023, he was picked up again from his Lahore residence, this time under the Toshakhana conviction. Case after case, conviction after conviction, more than 200 FIRs, graft, cipher, unlawful marriage, May 9 violence, each one engineered to keep Imran Khan behind bars permanently. In January 2024, a 10-year conviction in the cipher case, a 14-year sentence in Toshakhana. In February 2024, 7 years in the so-called marriage case. And every time one conviction collapsed in court, another one appeared overnight. Even from jail, Imran Khan slammed Munir's self-promotion to Field Marshal this May, calling it the law of the jungle. Now, nobody knows where Imran Khan is, and as Asim Munir's power grab accelerates, the pieces begin to fit. He fears Imran because Imran knows too much, because Imran exposed too much, because Imran refuses to bow. Munir fears the cipher, the alleged US-backed conspiracy Imran claimed.
Imran Khan's government was brought down. Of course, if he points out that they received a cipher, at that time General Bajwa received a cipher from this person who was in charge, Donald Lu, of in the State Department, and they proceeded to remove his government.
Munir fears exposure of corruption, the offshore accounts, the Pandora Papers, the generals named. Munir fears Imran's popularity.
That you're using a script from 5-6 decades old script in which there were times when you had dictators give themselves immunity, but obviously they haven't read history and what happens to such people. So if he's envisioning himself, Imran Khan always says everything is under Asim law. There are two names you are not allowed to take in public. One is Imran Khan and one is Asim Munir.
Okay.
Like if you take Imran Khan's name, it's banned from mainstream media. You can't show his picture, you cannot discuss him. So who's banning him? And the other person, if you say anything against him or you criticize him, is Asim Munir. That's it.
Munir fears Imran's voice, which is why he has cut every communication channel. Given Pakistan's de facto dictator Asim Munir's fear of Imran Khan, army has been trying to crack backroom deals with Imran Khan.
He's in jail on cooked up charges. They had offered that he can leave the country and all charges will be dropped. He said, I'll face my case.
And this offer came from whom?
Myself. From the establishment. Indirectly, messages have been sent to him. Messages were given to us indirectly. People sort of approach us and say, he should sort this out. And he should sort of agree to what is being offered, like keep quiet, don't do politics, do not say anything against, let this rigged government continue. So, or leave the country. These are various offers that we've been, not directly, but indirectly, we have been given these messages. And so has Imran Khan.
इमरान खान इन जेल की सलाखों से बाहर आएगा और जब वो बाहर आएगा आप देखेंगे पाकिस्तान का नक्शा बदलेगा, पाकिस्तान आगे तरक्की की तरफ जाएगा और इंशाअल्लाह ताला वो दिन दूर नहीं जब इमरान खान बाहर आएगा.
And that is the nightmare haunting General Asim Munir. Not Imran's body, not Imran's politics, but Imran's people.
Haryana, known as the breeding ground for India's sporting talent, is reeling after two teenage basketball players lost their lives in the last few days. Families of these players, now victims, and coaches say the deaths were completely avoidable. 15-year-old Aman and 16-year-old Hardik Rathi, both killed this week when poorly maintained hoop poles collapsed during practice. In one case, CCTV footage shows Hardik's accident. The moment it fell on him, exposing the glaring negligence in the state's sporting infrastructure. Families and the public are extremely angry, demanding accountability as political leaders clash over responsibility. In fact, in one of the cases, the family had written to the government asking for them to maintain and upkeep this infrastructure. Suspensions, of course, have taken place. District officers have been asked to go. Investigations are underway. And the question, like each time such a story is reported, could these deaths have been prevented? Tonight, on the long-form story, we examine the infrastructure failures, administrative lapses, and the outrage that's shaken Haryana's sporting community.
Haryana, the sports capital of the country. Or is it? This question now hangs like a knife. Shoddy infrastructure and lack of sports equipment maintenance has claimed not one but two lives this very week. Lives of young, promising and upcoming sports players. Within 48 hours earlier this week, two teenage basketball players, that is 15-year-old Aman from Bahadurgarh and 16-year-old Hardik Rathi in Rohtak, died in horrific accidents with hoop poles collapsing on them. The heart-wrenching death of Hardik Rathi, in fact, was captured on CCTV, the footage of which shed light and exposed the many lackings and failures in the state's sports infrastructure and governance. At the heart of the incident is this gut-wrenching video. A 16-year-old young boy full of life and a promising career ahead. In moments leading up to the mishap, he was seen running in from the three-point line and grabbing the hoop as he simulates a dunk. It was all well until it wasn't. The pole comes crashing down on him in a horrific instant, landing on his chest and crushing his ribs. The footage also shows other players rushing in to Hardik's aid. He was taken to the hospital where he was declared brought dead. And just like that, in a blink of an eye, the world comes crashing down for Hardik's family. State Sports Minister Gaurav Gautam acknowledged this incident and claimed that an investigation is being conducted and that those responsible have been suspended. He assured the public of strengthening the continued efforts in maintaining stadiums and grounds in the state.
जिम्मेदारी तय होती है और जो भी जिम्मेदार होगा उस पर कार्रवाई करेंगे, चाहे अगर गलत दुखद घटना है उस पर कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए, होगी.
District Sports Officer Anup Singh was suspended promptly. The public outrage continued to fester and grow, claiming that the tragedy did not strike without warnings. Angst and anger took over the state and nation as this marked the second death in Haryana, an easily avoidable tragedy.
A very unfortunate incident was being reported in Rohtak's Lakhan Majra village on Tuesday when a young talented 16-year-old national basketball player lost his life. Right now the Republic TV team is on the same playground where this whole incident was being reported. Let me show you the visuals of the basketball ring and that iron rod, which could be seen completely in shambles, in very pathetic condition. See, this whole iron rod could be seen rusting. Apart from that, you can see this, that the complete iron rod was just being pulled off from the ground and it just fell on the 16-year-old Hardik Rathi when he was doing a dunk, and he was immediately rushed to the hospital where he died during treatment. A high-level committee has been formed by the Sports Minister of Haryana, Gaurav Gautam, while the District Sports Officer of Rohtak has been suspended immediately.
Adding on to the outrage is late Hardik Rathi's grandfather Gulab Singh's allegation. He blamed the administration for not repairing the pole in time, especially when there was a provision of a grant for the same.
इतने एफर्ट्स किए इसने, डेडिकेटेड प्लेयर था, अकेला ही प्रैक्टिस कर रहा था और बच्चे दूसरे पोल पे कर रहे थे, ये अकेला उस पोल पे कर रहा था और एक बार रिंग के पास गया, रिंग नहीं मिला इसको, दूसरी बार जब किया तो इसने रिंग जो ही रिंग पकड़ा और उसके ऊपर किसी ने भी नहीं बताया कि इस पे ये ऐसे ये जर्जर हालत में है, क्योंकि वो जो ग्राउंड लेवल था ना उसके थोड़ा सा सेंटीमीटर कुछ नीचे था जो दिखाई नहीं दे रहा था, पेंट पे किया हुआ था तो पेंट के अंदर से जंग दिखाई नहीं दिया.
Following the claim came a statement from Congress and then Rajya Sabha MP Dipender Singh Hooda. He said he had sanctioned 11 lakh rupees from his MPLAD fund for said stadium's maintenance. He then goes on to blame the BJP governance in the state for his contribution not seeing the light of day, as he claims the BJP buried his funds in files instead.
इससे ज़्यादा दुखद घटना नहीं हो सकती. इस हादसे में उसको अपनी जान देनी पड़ी. और क्यों? क्योंकि 11 साल से बीजेपी की हरियाणा सरकार ने सारे खेल स्टेडियम के अपना बजट बंद करने का कार्य किया. जो सारे स्टेडियम हमारे कांग्रेस की सरकार के टाइम बने थे, 481 खेल स्टेडियम थे, लेकिन उनका टोटल बजट रोकने का कार्य, और ये खेलों के प्रति, खिलाड़ियों के प्रति और खेल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के प्रति बेरुखी नहीं है, ये लापरवाही भी है और ये आपराधिक लापरवाही है.
Punjab's Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann argued against these claims amid his meeting the family of the late basketball player. He questioned Hooda's claim as he inquired as to the whereabouts of the MPLAD funds. He then went on to urge for the victim's family to be receiving compensation.
राजनीति मैं बिल्कुल नहीं कर रहा हूँ. राजनीति मैं स्पोर्ट्स लवर हूँ. मैं ये मांग करता हूँ, इस परिवार के पास और कोई कमाने वाला है नहीं साथ, और दुखों का पहाड़ टूट गया, सरकारी नौकरी और ऐसा मुआवजा जो कम से कम परिवार इधर उधर की ठोकरें मत खाए.
Sandeep Rathi, the father of the late basketball player, responded to the grant of compensation as he, in anguish, wished instead for an indoor stadium for children to practice sports.
किसी को सस्पेंड करना कोई इसका हल नहीं है। बच्चे मरते रहेंगे, आप सस्पेंड करते रहेंगे, उसका कोई हल नहीं है। हल सस्पेंड करना नहीं है, हल है कि आगे बच्चों की मौत ना हो। ऐसा काम करिए कि आगे ना तो आपको किसी को सस्पेंड करना पड़े, ना किसी बच्चे की। प्रशासन को पहले सख्त रखें, पहले उनके कार्य को अपने दिखाए, अपने सर्वे कराए, कहाँ कहाँ स्टेडियम खराब है उनकी मरम्मत की जाए मौके पर, ताकि वो खिलाड़ी तो किसी वर्ग का वो खेल के अपने देश का नाम रोशन करे। तो सस्पेंड करना, फिर सस्पेंड कर दे, फिर कोई मर जाए, फिर सस्पेंड कर दे, कोई फर्क नहीं है।
There's more. During an exclusive interaction with Republic TV, Hardik's coach Mohit Rathi revealed a letter dated June 2025 sent to the sports minister. A letter we now know to have never been acted upon. The letter requested an urgent upgrade of the ground and infrastructure, the lack of which Hardik paid for with his life. The coach also went on to tear into the government, alleging Hardik's death to be a murder.
सरकारी बच्चों का यदि कोई गुंडा इनकाउंटर करता है तो उसके साथ सरकार क्या करती है, तो सरकार को खुद देखना चाहिए कि हम उनके साथ क्या करें, बताओ।
In another interaction with Republic, the parent of the deceased, Sandeep Rathi, and coach Mohit Rathi elaborated upon their claims. Sandeep shed light on Hardik's aspirations, how he envisioned to play for India and achieve greater heights for the country with his sporting prowess. He also shared how Hardik, until then, had not missed one national championship, as he expressed his anguish over Hardik's dreams, now left incomplete.
मैं तो सरकार से यही गुजारिश करता हूँ कि जो मेरे बेटे के साथ हुआ, इस देश के बेटे के साथ हुआ, कि किसी बेटे के साथ ना हो। सरकार समय पर अपना कदम उठाए, समय पर प्रशासन अपना काम करे, समय पर अपनी मरम्मत कराए, ताकि आने वाला और कोई प्लेयर है वो अपनी जान ना गवा सके।
The outrage continues as people within the sports fraternity too agonize at what this incident bodes for Haryana, which is known as the breeding ground of medal-winning sportspersons. Haryana wrestler Geeta Fogart expressed her condolences to the family and urged for proper maintenance of the state sports infrastructure.
देखिए, बहुत ही दुख की बात है और इस दुख की घड़ी में हम सब तो उन परिवार वालों के साथ हमारी साथ होना है ही। बहुत ही मैं कहूँगी कि अनफॉर्चुनेट है, तो चाहती हूँ कि जो हमारी जो पुरानी बिल्डिंग्स या पुराने जो भी स्टेडियम में जो भी ग्राउंड्स हैं, चाहे वो किसी भी बास्केटबॉल का, हैंडबॉल का हो, रेसलिंग में, तो उन जो पुरानी चीजें उनकी देखरेख प्रॉपर तरीके से उनकी होनी चाहिए।
As investigations and outrage ensue, a high-level meeting was consequently held at Tau Devi Lal Stadium on Friday. All senior officials and district officers were summoned to review collapsing infrastructure across the state. These deaths have triggered backlash from all over the state, particularly on a political front. As parties play blame game and accountability lies in wait, the nation awaits the deceased boys to be granted justice, as they paid for the political and administrative failures and lackings with their own very lives.
One of the biggest stories that dominated last week. We bring you now a story of courage, innovation, tragedy, and all intertwined. On the global stage of the Dubai Air Show 2025, India's pride, the LCA Tejas, suffered a huge mishap. Wing Commander Naman Sial, one of our most talented pilots, lost his life performing a high-risk aerobatic display. Now, this incident has not only shaken our armed forces but reignited a debate over India's indigenous fighter program, its capabilities, delays, and the challenges of the Make in India mission. What our report brings today on the show is the journey of Tejas, the LCA Tejas, India's pride, from conception to the sky, the risks, the innovation, and the lives that hang in the balance. From the airfield to the last rites of Wing Commander Sial, from the cockpit to the command room, this is the story of Tejas, its pilots, and India's fight for self-reliance.
What happened at the Dubai Air Show 2025 has shocked the entire nation and claimed the life of Wing Commander Namanj Sayal. This tragic loss has reignited debate over the LCA Tejas, bringing long-buried concerns back to the fore.
It was meant to be a showcase of Indian aerospace prowess, but the crash at the Dubai Air Show has left the nation in shock. The entire world has its eyes on India. Was it mechanical failure? Was it pilot disorientation? Or was it an issue with the fly-by-wire system? All these questions remain fresh. This tragedy has evoked a lot of emotion amongst the nation and is probably the one that will bring the nation together.
A single-engine, multi-role light combat aircraft Tejas is engineered for both air defense superiority and precision ground attack missions. Developed by Hindustan Aeronautics Limited in collaboration with the Aeronautical Development Agency, it represents India's most advanced indigenous fighter effort. The Tejas program is central to India's Make in India defense push, aimed at slashing dependence on foreign combat platforms. Yet, the legacy of Tejas has been cloudy, delays, HAL's delivery issues, and an engine still imported.
A timeline is given. Not a single project that I can think of has been completed on time. So this is something where we have to look at. Why should we promise something which cannot be achieved? While signing the contract itself, some of the times we are sure that it is not going to come up. But we just signed the contract. उसके बाद देखेंगे क्या करना है.
Although HAL chief calls this an isolated incident.
There's absolutely no problem with the Tejas. Let me declare it from this forum. There is no problem with the Tejas. It's a wonderful aircraft and it is absolutely safe, and its safety record is the best in the world. We've had a couple of them, and what you saw in Dubai was an unfortunate incident.
All of this raises a big question. Can the HAL's LCA Tejas truly fulfill India's Make in India ambitions?
LCA was conceived as a replacement of aging MiG-21 fleet. Initially it was conceived in 1980, but due to various constraints it had taken a long production time. LCA aircraft as such is a very superior technology and performance oriented aircraft, unlike MiG-21. It had a multi-role capabilities. The Tejas Mark 1 is supposed to be supporting the beyond visual range missile precision ground munitions and the integrated electronic warfare systems.
It was supposed to be a showcase of India's aerospace prowess at the Dubai Air Show, but it ended in tragedy. The loss of Wing Commander Sayal has put the entire nation in shock. This has raised critical questions about the negative G maneuvers. Was it mechanical failure, or was it the unforgiving margins of the aerial display? All these questions are fresh in our minds, and this has created a lot of reasons and a lot of questions.
Negative G in aviation occurs when forces act opposite to gravity, often during aerobatics, sudden dives, or severe turbulence. If unchecked, it can cause disorientation or blackouts, which is why pilots train specifically to handle and counteract negative G forces.
Tejas is a fantastic aircraft, and with the upgradations that are coming in, with the indigenous weapon systems and radars that will be fitted into this, with the radar absorbent material that is going to come in, it is safety factor both in combat as well as in peacetime is going to improve significantly. In any case, it is extremely good even now.
Flying itself is a difficult and a risky profession. Further, a step ahead, fighter flying is further dangerous proposition. A step further, during air shows, when we perform various maneuvers as a part of aerobatic display, it's a quite dangerous.
Aviation is an unforgiving business, written with the blood of test pilots and pioneers. The loss of Wing Commander Sayal is a blow to the entire nation. The conscience has been rattled, but the consensus remains with experts. Every expert that we spoke to say that the Tejas program is robust and one of the best in the world.
The Dubai Airshow Tejas crash is tragic. The nation lost a frontline pilot performing a high-risk display duty. He leaves behind a grieving family, colleagues and a country mourning the loss of a brave aviator. The mishap happened on the global stage, with cameras rolling and the adversaries watching, but the show must go on. A testament to Manohar Parrikar's unwavering push for self-reliance under the Make in India program, Tejas remains India's pride, a symbol of cutting-edge indigenous capability. Lives are mourned, but India's fighter program continues to soar.
Another young woman in Haryana dead. Once again, the trigger was pulled by her own family. 23-year-old woman Sapna, married for 3.5 years, shot dead inside her home in Rohtak. And the reason is a reason India knows too well. She chose a partner her family did not approve of. Sapna's brother, along with his friends, allegedly entered her home with loaded pistols. Her brother-in-law, who tried to stop them, was shot and is now fighting for life. The 4 accused were intercepted within hours, injured during retaliatory firing, and then arrested. Now, this case doesn't begin with a gun. It begins with an idea that a woman's life, her marriage, her autonomy must still pass through the approval of the men in her family. And each time a woman steps outside that boundary, whether through education, work, or the simple act of choosing a life partner, there are still families prepared to treat that choice as betrayal. Here's Sapna's story on the long form tonight.
In Haryana's Rohtak district, a night that began like any other ended with a young woman lying dead inside her home.
In an alleged case of honor killing on November 21st, a 23-year-old girl, Sapna, was allegedly killed by his brother and 3 friends. Sapna immediately died after the bullets hit her. But if we talk about her brother-in-law, Sahil, sustained bullet injuries, who tried to intervene when all the 4 stormed into the house on 21st night around 10 p.m. They were also planning to kill Sapna's husband Suraj, and as per the inputs what Republic TV has, around 3.5 years ago they both got married to each other and then they left the village. Some months ago they both returned into the village, and due to this Sapna's brother was very much disappointed and humiliated.
The murder was carried out by the people who shared her childhood, her bloodline, her surname. Sapna was 23, married for 3.5 years. She had chosen love. She chose intercaste marriage, and that choice followed her into every room she lived in, every conversation, every uneasy silence, until the night of 19th of November, 9:40 p.m. Police say her brother Sanju, along with 3 friends, entered the house with loaded pistols. What happened inside these walls lasted only minutes, but its consequences will stay with this family for generations to come.
घर में 4-5 लड़के बड़े उन्होंने फायरिंग करी है। मेरी घरवाली अंदर लौट रही थी, सीधी गोली मारी, भाई का मारी है, हाथापाई करी है, रहता है सब के साथ है उन्होंने। मैं ये कहना चाह रहा हूँ उन्हें फांसी की सजा मिला बढ़िया। गाँव के उसके भाई भी है, उसके भाई ने करवाया सारा सब कुछ, उसकी मम्मी पापा ने कह कर करवाया, क्योंकि वे खुली कह कर गए थे बार में की बला नहीं छोड़ा कि मम्मी पापा ने छुड़ाया उन्हें जीव कराया। तद उनका था मारने का हमको दोनों, यानी मान लो पूरे करके ही होता चांस।
तो आप वहाँ से निकल गए?
वहाँ पे मैं था नहीं उस टाइम पे।
Sapna's brother-in-law Sahil, who tried to intervene, survived the bullets. His injuries are serious.
मैं ये चाह रहा हूँ फांसी की सजा मिलती है सारे को, तब बढ़िया कार्रवाई।
पुलिस से किस टाइम
से वहीं पे आ ली थी, मौके पे आ गई पुलिस तो।
While Sapna's body lay in her home and Sahil was being rushed to PGIMs, police received another alert. The shooters were moving again, and their next stop, officers believed, was Suraj, Sapna's husband, who had not been home during the attack. On the Ladhod-Bohar road, the police set up a trap, an interception planned quietly, without warning the villagers around. What followed was brief and violent. Police say that the accused opened fire first. Officers responded in self-defense. And within minutes, all 4 men on the ground injured, disarmed and under arrest.
दिनांक 19/11 को गांव कानी में सपना नाम की एक लड़की का उसके भाई ने उसकी मैरिज से नाराज होकर हत्या कर दी थी। उसके देवर को गोलियां मारी थी। जो हमारे पुलिस अधीक्षक श्रीमान सुरेंद्र सिंह बोरिया के सख्त दिशा निर्देशों पर कार्रवाई करते हुए हमारी टीमों ने इनको अपराधियों को राउंड अप, मुठभेड़ के दौरान राउंड अप किया। हमें हमारी टीम को सूचना मिली थी कि जो कानी में सपना नाम की लड़की का जो मर्डर किया था, वो 4 लड़के उसके पति की भी हत्या करने के फिराक में और से लाडोत रोड के आसपास बाइक पर घूम रहे हैं। जो इस सूचना पर हमारी टीमों ने नाकाबंदी की, तो थोड़ी देर बाद वो लड़के एक बाइक पर 4 लड़के सवार होकर आए, जिनको हमारी टीमों ने रुकने का इशारा किया, लेकिन वो वापस घुमाकर भागने लगे। तो बाइक फिसलकर रोड पर गिर गई और उठकर वो पुलिस पार्टी पर फायर करने लगे। आत्मसमर्पण करने के लिए कहा तो उन्होंने फिर भी पुलिस पार्टी पर फायरिंग जारी रखी। जो एसआई दिनेश और संत कुमार और एसआई हितेंद्र के नेतृत्व में जो टीमें थी, उन्होंने अपने और पुलिस पार्टी के बचाव के लिए हवाई फायर भी किए, लेकिन फिर भी नहीं माने। तो उनके पैरों की जान माल के नुकसान को बचाते उनके पैरों की तरफ फायर किए, तो जिसमें उनको 4 को एक गोली लगी हुई है और उनको राउंड अप करके पीजीआई में उपचार के लिए भेज दिया। करीब 8-10 राउंड अक्यूज्ड की तरफ से हुआ था और 10 के करीब राउंड फायर पुलिस पार्टी की तरफ से। वो लड़की सपना का सगा भाई था, जो उसके शादी करने से नाराज था। इस वजह से अपने आप को बाहर बताने वाले बदमाश सुंदर और काला के संपर्क में आया और अपनी इसका मैरिज का बदला लेने के लिए उसने वेपन इकट्ठे करे और अपने साथी करे।
संजू, राहुल, Ankit and Gaurav. 2 from Rohtak, 2 from Sonipat. Their names now added to a long, painful list that Haryana knows way too well. From them, police recovered 4 pistols, 10 live cartridges, 2 magazines and a motorcycle. Evidence of preparations, of intent, of a plan that had travelled across villages, across nights, and finally into Sapna's home. And this is not a crime of isolation. Haryana saw another killing just months ago, one that left the state stunned for very different reasons. 25-year-old tennis player Radhika Yadav was shot dead by her own father inside their Gurugram home. A promising athlete running her academy was gunned down because of her success, her independence, and even her earning became a burden that her father felt society was judging him for. Sapna in Rohtak, Radhika in Gurugram. Two young women, separated by distance, by profession, by circumstances, but connected by a single thread. The violence that rises when a woman's choice threatens society's idea of honor. They wanted a life of their own. What they encountered were limits they never agreed to. Limits drawn not by law or fate, but by the people who believed that they simply had the right to draw them.
West Bengal is once again gripped by unrest, protests, questions no one seems willing to answer as of this evening. A 36-year-old man called Pritam Ghosh met with an accident earlier this week and later succumbed to his injuries at the Barasat Medical College. But when his family came to collect the body, they made a shocking claim that one of his eyes was missing. Hospital authorities dismissed that allegation, suggesting that the eye may have been damaged by rats or just nibbled away. But the family, joined by local residents, took to the streets in protest, staging a blockade, demanding answers. Now, even as public anger mounted in Bengal, the Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee remained unmoved. Now, this incident raises several questions about governance, accountability, and the ongoing struggles faced by ordinary people in West Bengal. And it's not the first time. Here at the Republic Media Network, we've shown several videos of rats nibbling on patients who are alive. In this case, a dead man's eye went missing. Here's the full story.
In West Bengal, it's just one unrest after another. Not even a year since the harrowing Archikor rape and murder case that shook the very core of the state. Bengal was marked by cases of fear, violence, and absolute horror. An exodus of Hindus from Murshidabad. The violence in Shondeshkhali. And countless allegations of rapes. And now, a helpless family begging in front of Mamata Banerjee to make sense of what happened to their deceased family member's eyeball. The eyeball vanished from socket, and Mamata Banerjee's only answer, "We will give you a government job."
যদি এই ঘটনাটা পড়ে থাকে টোটাল এনকোয়ারি অর্ডার দিলাম এবং দুই হচ্ছে তার বিরুদ্ধে অ্যাকশন নেওয়া হবে, সিসিটিভি ফুটেজে দেখা হবে এবং যে পরিবারে এই ঘটনা ঘটেছে তাদেরকে প্রয়োজনীয় ক্ষতিপূরণ দেওয়া হবে। আর থেকে কেউ আছে কাজ করার ভিতরে তার বউ কি কাজ করতে পারবে? তিনি বিধবা, মা আছে, মা তো আছে, মায়ের কত বয়স? 50 হয়নি, 48 শুনেছেন বাড়ির অ্যাড্রেসটা লিখে নাও আর বায়োডাটাটাও মার নিয়ে নাও। আমি আমার কোটায় যে চাকরি হয় বছরে দুটো, আমি তার থেকে একটা করে দেবো, কাছাকাছি করে দেবো যাতে উনি মানে সংসারটা চালাতে পারবে।
बरासात में एक्सीडेंट होने के बाद
प्रीतम घोष 35 का युवा, उनका बॉडी को लेकर अस्पताल लिया गया था। फैमिली को पता था शायद वो बन जाएगा, मगर उसके बाद क्या होने वाला है उनको नहीं पता था। जब बॉडी लेके आए तब तक मौत हो चुका था प्रीतम घोष का। इसके बाद उनका बॉडी रखने के लिए मॉर्ग में लेके गया, क्योंकि पोस्टमार्टम करना जरूरी था। जब पोस्टमार्टम हुआ, पोस्टमार्टम के बाद फैमिली ने देखा कि उनका जो आंख है वो आंख ही उनके ऊपर से गायब है। जब अस्पताल से पूछा गया कि प्रीतम घोष का, उनका फैमिली मेंबर भाई का आंख कहाँ पर है, क्योंकि एक्सीडेंट होने से पहले जब बॉडी उनको मिला था तब देखा गया था उनका आंख बॉडी पे ही है, उनका दोनों आंखें ठीक ठाक है। मगर मॉर्ग में भेजने के बाद, पोस्टमार्टम के बाद ऐसा क्या हुआ कि आंखें गायब है। इसके बाद हॉस्पिटल से जवाब आया कि चूहा ने शायद खाया होगा। शुरू किया प्रदर्शन। बारासात हॉस्पिटल में जशोर रोड के ऊपर जब प्रदर्शन चल रहे थे तब ममता बनर्जी का कॉन्वॉय काफिला वहां से आ रहा था। काफिला को रोका गया और ममता बनर्जी के कॉन्वॉय के सामने ही उनका स्लोगनिंग किया गया, प्रदर्शन किया गया। इसके बाद ममता बनर्जी ने इन्वेस्टिगेशन का भी वादा किया, उनका नौकरी और कंपेंसेशन देने का भी वादा किया। मगर फैमिली की तरफ से साफ मांगना है कि उन लोगों को स्वच्छ इन्वेस्टिगेशन चाहिए, विचार चाहिए।
The deceased, identified as Pritam Ghosh, a resident of the Barasat Railway Gate number 1, had met with an accident on Monday. He later succumbed to his injuries at the Barasat Medical Hospital. After his death, the body was sent for a post-mortem examination. When the family arrived to collect the body, they claimed that one of his eyes was missing.
প্রথমে যখন আমার ভাইকে অ্যাক্সিডেন্টের পর আমরা হসপিটালে নিয়ে যাই, নিয়ে গেলে তখন আমার ভাই দুটো চোখই ভালো ছিল, যেটা আমি আগেও বলেছি, বারবারই বলেছি, আপনারা হয়তো জানেন। তারপরে হসপিটালে নিয়ে যাওয়ার পর যখন ভাই মারা যায়, ভাইয়ের কোনো ট্রিটমেন্ট হয়নি, ভাই ট্রিটমেন্টের আগেই মারা গেছিলো, মানে এক্সপায়ার করে, সময় দেয়নি সেটা। তারপরে সেখান থেকে নিয়ে আসার পর আমরা ভাইকে, যেটা হয় আমরা কাগজপত্র কোনো আমাদের একটা ভুলবশত থাকাকালীন আমরা সেদিনকে বডিটা বের করতে পারিনি। তারপরের দিন আমরা সেদিনকে বের করতে পারিনি বলে আমরা ফ্রিজ বরফ কিনে বডিটাকে বরফ দিয়ে রেখে দিই। রেখে দেওয়ার পরে পরের दिन আমরা যথারীতি সমস্ত ফর্মালিটি।
बर्फ कीने माने बर्फ खरीदना पड़ा था आपको, मॉर्ग में देने के लिए बर्फ खरीदना पड़ा था।
हाँ हाँ, ওইটা কিনে দিয়ে আমরা ওটা দিয়েছিলাম যাতে আমাদের বডিটা সেফ থাকে। এবার আমরা জানি না ওখানে সবাই ওখানে তারপরে
ये बर्फ ले जाने के लिए आपको हॉस्पिटल से ही बोला गया था या आपने खुद खरीदी?
হসপিটাল থেকেই বলে দিয়েছিল।
फिर क्या हुआ?
এবার তারপরে যখন এসব হলো, তারপরে আমরা বডিটাকে পুরো সেফভাবে রেখে চলে আসলাম, যেহেতু আমাদের কাগজপত্রের অসুবিধার জন্য আমরা বডিটা নিতে পারিনি। কিছু করার নেই, আমরা টাইমও শেষ হয়ে গেছিলো, আমরা বাধ্য হয়ে বডিটাকে বরফ করে বাড়ি আসলাম। আসার পর পরের দিন যথারীতি আমাদের সকাল থেকে ওখানে লোক রয়েছে মর্গে, আমরা সেই বরফটাকে মানে বডিটা বরফ সমেত রয়েছে, আমরা কাগজপত্র জমা দিলাম। সেই বডি আমাদের দিতে দিতে বিকালের পর হলো, যখন বডি পেলাম আমরা তখন দেখলাম একটা চোখ নেই, চোখটা কোথায় গেল? তখন আমাদের প্রশ্ন, ওরা বলছে ইঁদুরে খেতে পারে, ইঁদুরে যদি খাবে তার তো একটা কোনো প্রমাণ থাকবে। চোখটাকে দেখে সেটা মনে হচ্ছিল না যে ইঁদুরে খাওয়া।
The family alleged that the eye was stolen from the hospital morgue. However, the authorities denied the charge, suggesting that rats might be responsible for the damage. The incident has once again sparked questions about the state of affairs in West Bengal and the ongoing struggles faced by ordinary people.
बंगाल के बारासात हॉस्पिटल से बॉडी के ऊपर से आंख गायब, इस घटना को लेकर पूरा स्टेट में हलचल मच गई है। बहुत सारे हॉस्पिटल का मॉर्ग का जो सिक्योरिटी है उसके ऊपर क्वेश्चन उठना शुरू हो गया है। आपको दिखा दो एक विजुअल्स, अभी बीजेपी की तरफ से बारासात हॉस्पिटल के सामने एजिटेशन और प्रदर्शन दिखा जा रहा है। उन लोगों की तरफ से डेपुटेशन भी आज दिया जाएगा, जिसमें इस घटना को लेकर साफ इन्वेस्टिगेशन का मांग उठाया जाएगा। और इसके बावजूद भी वो लोग चाहते हैं कि इस घटना का स्वच्छ तदंत हो, इन्वेस्टिगेशन हो और वो रिपोर्ट सामने आए। आपको ये भी बता दूं, आज सुबह को ही इस हॉस्पिटल का जो मॉर्ग है, उस हॉस्पिटल का मॉर्ग को चेंज किया गया है, दूसरे रूम में मॉर्ग का बंदोबस्त किया गया है, क्योंकि इस जो मॉर्ग है, इस मॉर्ग को लेकर बहुत सारा कंप्लेन अभी उठ रहा है, क्योंकि फैमिली की तरफ से, विक्टिम फैमिली की तरफ से कंप्लेन और एलिगेशन है कि इस मॉर्ग में बॉडी प्रिजर्व करने के लिए, बॉडी को प्रिजर्व करने के लिए जो बर्फ लगता है, उस बर्फ को भी खरीद के बाहर से खरीदने के लिए देना पड़ता है। बर्फ का फ्रीजर काम नहीं करता ठीक से। इस घटना को लेकर जब राजनीति में विरोधी जब क्वेश्चन उठाना शुरू किया है, तब हेल्थ डिपार्टमेंट से क्या सिचुएशन होगा और क्या स्टेप लिया जाएगा, ये भी देखना बाकी है।
The unrest has spilled onto the roads and public outreach is escalating.
ये जो बंगाल का परिस्थिति है बहुत खराब है। ये सरकारी अस्पताल में अब कोई सिक्योरिटी नहीं है, किसी का रेप होता है, किसी का आंखें चोरी होता है, ऐसा ही चल रहा है। ये सरकार नहीं चाहिए, ये सरकार को फेंक देना चाहिए।
मेडिकल कॉलेज कम हॉस्पिटल जिन्हें गवर्निंग बॉडी प्रेसिडेंट তিনি কাকলি ঘোষ দস্তিদার তৃণমূলের এমপি, তার নির্দেশেই তার অঙ্গুলি হেলো নেই কার্যত এখানে যত দুরাচার অনাচার দুর্নীতি চলে। চোখ চুরি হলো কি করে? মমতা বন্দ্যোপাধ্যায় নাকের বদলে নরুনের মতো, মমতা বন্দ্যোপাধ্যায় চোখের বদলে চাকরি দিয়ে অসহায় পরিবারের মুখ বন্ধ করার চেষ্টা করছেন, কিন্তু চোখ কোথায় গেল?
But Mamata Banerjee remains unmoved, her dismissiveness unwavering. On Tuesday night this week, the family and the local residents blocked Jessore Road near the hospital, staging a protest over the alleged condition of the body. And this is what Mamata had to say.
বাড়ি অ্যাড্রেসটা লিখে নাও, আর বায়োডাটাটাও মান নিয়ে নাও। ঠিক ম্যাডাম, আমি আমার কোটায় যে চাকরি হয় বছরে দুটো, আমি তার থেকে একটা করে দেবো, কাছাকাছি করে দেবো, যাতে উনি মানে সংসারটা চালাতে পারেন।
Here, the living and the lifeless are treated no differently, both reduced to the same neglect. No prevention, no stronger measures. A life lost, and the only response offered is a government job. A conclusion as stark as the failure itself.
And that's it on this edition of the long-form story. Ladies and gentlemen, in case you've missed it, you can watch the entire broadcast of the 5 biggest stories of the week once again tomorrow, 12 p.m. Thanks for watching.